Hey everybody. Today gonna do something different. I guess someone asked me to that they would like to see or hear me talk about Pokemon or unbox Pokemon cards. Well, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not. I'm not into trading card games, to be honest. Um I'm actually gonna tell you why I don't like trading card games. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, any trading card game for that matter. I'm not into trading card games. And there's a few reasons why I'm not into trading card games. One, you can't play them solo. I mean, you kind of have to have a component to play trading card games, so there's a decent reason right there. But the main reason is they're cash grabs. They keep coming up with expansions and expansions and expansions, specifically to get you to keep buying more cards. You cannot collect all the cards unless there's only one series to collect. Another reason is if you don't have actual people to play with, they're not worth collecting. I mean, it's a game. If it's a game and you can't find anyone to play with and you cannot play it solo, there's like literally no solo mode to play trading card games, then it's not worth collecting. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind collecting trading cards. Like if they're pictures of art or there's or whatever. Another thing that I learned from when I used to did collect Pokemon when I was in elementary school, I got tired of it when it became first it was a cool idea to try to collect them all, but I wasted money trying to do that because they put too many energy cards in there. Which, well, honestly, no one uses those. People are trying to collect the character cards. They made a game. Would It's okay. They made a game, but they should have just made art cards of the different Pokemon because the majority of people that collected the cards don't even play the game, and if they do play the game, they don't even follow the rules correctly anyway. They created their own games where it was just one Pokemon versus another Pokemon, and then it became like gambling when we were in elementary school. You would bet your Pokemon against another Pokemon, and they would use their Pokemon to basically steal your Pokemon because they would they'd say, I bet my Pokemon against your Pokemon, and then they would use a different Pokemon to try to fight your Pokemon and whatever. Anyway, the point is it became people didn't trade. They didn't do legitimate good trades. You lost your Pokemon when you tried to trade with people, and you got way too many cards you didn't need, which meant you got too many doubles, especially energies and trainer cards. Since people weren't playing the actual game, the trainer cards were worthless most of the time when you got them. And also, the energy cards are worthless most of the time when you get them because, again, nobody actually played the game correctly. So, and if you bought a starter set, you had all the energy cards you needed in that starter set. I mean, once you had like maybe 10 of every type of energy, at most 10 to 20 of every type of energy, you're perfectly fine with whatever size deck you're going to make. Since you can only have legally in the official game, I think it was a 60 card deck. I mean, yeah, you can customize it and make it your own, but still, the point is people didn't play the game. They didn't play the game. They didn't play the game correctly. Um, People were just collecting the Pokemon. Nobody cared about actually playing the game. I suppose that's still the case for most trading cards games. They're a game, but nobody plays the actual game. And I'm not going to go and get into a tournament. No. It's the same reason I don't really like games that have a whole lot of miniatures. I like miniatures. Yeah, I'll collect the miniatures, but I don't like the game. Because, again, nobody plays the game. And if they do play the game, they don't play it right. Or whatever. They don't play by the rules. So, again, why I don't like trading card games is because basically they're a cash grab. They're simply designed to get you to buy them. I will collect a whole series of art cards or of like maybe superheroes or something if I can find the packs for like $1 or less. Sure. And then, like, they're not worth anything. Most of the cards you get are worthless. So, yeah. I will collect, and since you can't really trade them, you have to try to sell them, and no one wants to buy them. So, where is your investment? It's gone. I mean, the place that you bought the cards from won't buy your cards back from you, so what's the point? Uh, so basically, cash grabs keep coming out with more and more and more. So, and of course, the cards are way too expensive. Like $3, $4, $5 a pack to get like 10, 11 or 12 something, 9 to 12 cards. That's ridiculous. Now, if they was cheap, like, I don't know, $1 a pack, and every pack was guaranteed to have at least one holographic card in it, we would be it would be different to think about. Be cheap, guarantee holographic cards in every pack, and maybe it would be worth something in collecting. Guarantee some kind of special card. I even tried baseball cards collecting one time. Problem with that is you get the whole complete set, and there's no way to sell them. I'm literally made complete sets all the time. I was making complete sets, and I tried to resell them, and for their value, according to the book, and nobody would buy them. And I'm like, dudes. So eventually, I just sold all my ball cards because of the same reason. I wasted too much money on it. It was a failed investment. It's an investment that wasn't even a good investment. It didn't work. It was gone. I gave up. I said, forget it. Pokemon cards were cool to collect, but then I gave up because you can't collect them all. Because they came up with another series, and another series, and another series, and another series. That's why I'm never falling for that crap again. Trading card games are a cash grab scheme. You're trading your cash for something you can never acquire all of. They're not even fun. Now, art sets are pretty cool. You have like maybe 60 cards or 100 cards or something like that. Or in a set. Uh, and then there's maybe a subset of extra 5 cards or another subset of extra 10 cards. That's cool. Okay, you know how many you're gonna get. That's the maximum you can get. You can try to collect them all, and boom, you get them all, and you're cool. And you got art. There's no silly game to play about it. So there's no wasted space with rules and powers and all that stuff on the cards. There's just straight up art that you can enjoy. And then maybe on the back it's something about the artist or the character that the art is about. Or if it's a movie set line, which they used to do movie lines, that's cool too because, or it's TV show line, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did a movie and the TV show line, the cartoon show line, which was basically still images from the movie, and you collected the whole set, and it had a little what was going on in the movie. So if you got the whole set, you could look at all the still images from the 60 cards or whatever, and you could read on the back of every card, and it would tell you the whole entire story of the movie or the TV show or whatever, right? So you collected it, and boom, you got it. You got everything. It's great, right? Because you could collect everything. But again, they're still a terrible investment unless you want to keep them. I mean, you can not sell them. People don't buy trading cards. People don't buy packs of cards. People don't buy them from you back. So you're stuck with all these extra cards, doubles that you can't do anything with. It's kind of a reason I don't collect trading card games. Not even that much into card games in general. I'm not a card game fan. Um, I will pick them up when they're cheap here and there, just to basically for the channel, to do the channel to show off. But I'm not really a big fan of card games. I prefer like actual games that have boards and that have playing pieces and that you can like move those playing pieces. So not too fond of card games, to be honest. Not even deck building games, really. I'm not that fond of them. Again, because usually games that involve cards have multiple expansions that you keep having to buy more and more and more and more of. And I'm not a big fan of that. Don't get me wrong. There's legitimate games that have expansions that you should be able to like buy expansions for. But I think it would be more fun instead of, in my opinion, instead of creating expansion sets to create whole entire new games. Like the Funko Pop Funkoverse games, they did that. You can buy them and they can mix them and match them together. That's great. But you could also buy the 2-pack and it'd be one-on-one battle between you and your opponent, or the 4-pack, which is a 4-player game. Now they had single packs too, which were like expansions, but then which I'm like they're kind of silly. So another thing that did this, which basically they took, is Unleashed. I would love to find some Unleashed stuff, but I think it's like Heroes Unleashed or something, or Unmasked or Unleashed. Or anyways, basically what they did was they took the Star Wars Jedi's Unleashed game, they twisted it a little bit so it could include heroes from all kinds of fictional realms and past, present, and future or whatever. not to be confused with Hero Clicks and Hero Escape. Those games are good because they had miniatures. And yeah, you had to keep buying expansions and stuff, which is cool. But mainly people were collecting the miniatures. It's another reason I kind of don't like trading. Uh, I kind of don't like collectible miniatures games too, on the same reason I don't like trading card games. But at least I prefer them over trading card games because you at least get to keep the miniatures and you can always use the miniatures for something else. So you have you still have these like little miniature action figures that you can collect and you can put them in other games. So on that note, they're better. Trading cards, you just got some cards. What are you gonna do with a bunch of extra cards? Nothing. Throw them at folks like Gambit. They ain't gonna explode and blow up. So what fun is it? But at least you got like miniatures that you can like scatter around. I mean, if you had space, you could like scatter them around your room. You'd have like little miniature figures all over the place, right? So yeah, that's cool. And all else fails, you could probably sell these miniatures for at least $1 or $2 a piece. So you get tired of them, you can just try to sell them and resell them. They have a resellable value. You can get a couple bucks each for miniatures. So again, you got a resellable value here. Everything has to have a resellable value, or it's not worth collecting. I mean, yeah, you can collect for your own personal collection, but if you can't liquidate your own personal collection to try to get money so that you can, like, I don't know, live, then you're not doing very good. I mean, you should be able to acquire things that you can get rid of, and you need to be able to liquidate them fairly fast, I would try to say, so that you can acquire cash that you would need in a situation of that nature. But that's neither here nor there on the why I don't like trading card games. Well, the main reason is too many to collect. Cannot collect them all. Cash grab costs too much money. Nothing to do with all your repeats. People don't play the actual game or games, and the ones that do are too competitive about it. So it's hard for a beginner to get into stuff like that. Which is also the same problem with, again, tactical miniatures and other games. Like freaking any games that have a whole bunch of miniatures are expensive. For example, Star Trek and Star Wars X-Wing, Star Trek Armada, Star Wars Armada, Star Trek Fleet Battles, etc. They're basically spaceship tactical miniatures. On the plus side, you have these cool spaceships. On the negative side, you spend a lot of money on it. I mean, a lot of money. And I don't know if there's much of a market, secondhand market, unless except online. See, there's not an offline secondhand market. I mean, you would think that there would be some way to sell this stuff offline instead of online. And pawn shops, they don't buy that kind of stuff. I've yet to find a board game pawn shop. That would be amazing. And most of the board game hobby shops or whatever, They don't want to buy the stuff back. Not really. So again, there's that problem. Um, and if they do, they don't want to give you anything of value for them. So I mean, like, you had a box full of like miniatures, they might be like, "I give you like $20 for it," or some stupid, there'll be some dumb offer like that, which is good for me if I'm buying it from someone. It's bad if like I'm trying to sell it to someone. Because if I'm trying to sell it to someone, I'd be like, "Can I at least get $1 a figure? Come on." Exactly. Um. Yeah. It's like, they'll be offering you like a penny a trading card, and then they'll be like selling them for like 10 cents each or something. Kind of deal is what I'm getting at. Maybe. And the ones that are actually worth something, they maybe give you more. It's like the more you have to try to sell, the less they want to give you for. The less you bring in, the more you can get. I have sold and resold some stuff before when I got tired of it and didn't want it no more. But it seems like most of the time you get kind of gypped. They don't offer you nearly what they're going to sell it for. So that's kind of, why I go into reselling stuff on my own, because you can't find anybody, any businesses, small businesses or none, that want to actually give you something for it, which again is why I'm an advocate the of a. That's why I believe that there should be price limits or hikes to how much something can sell for, and I believe there should be a profit limit of like say maybe 200% profit limit. So you can't make over, you can't sell something for over 3 times you paid for it. That would be 200% profit. I also think that there should be a not not necessarily an equal value price, but a minimum of 50% of the thing's value for when you resell it into pawn, like, or a equal 100% value if you're going to trade it in. So I bring in a $20 item, say, okay, let's just say for sake of argument, I don't see any pawn shops doing this. Let's just say if there was a pawn shop and they bought action figures and games and other stuff. Let's just say for the sake of argument, I bring in action figure that normally sells at Walmart for about $20, right? Shoot, they've even gone up. They're almost like $25 now, but that's not near here. They were $20. They were about $20. So I bring in it for about $20, meaning they can sell it for $20 because Walmart can sell it for $20. They would have to give you at least $10 for it, or they'd have to give you at least what they're going to sell it for. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, the pawn shop's going to sell it for less than Walmart. So they're going to sell it for, say, $15, which means that since they're going to sell it to me for $15, they got to give me 50% of what they're going to sell it for, not 50% of what I paid for it. So they're going to sell it for $15, so they can offer me $7.50 cash, or they can offer me. But that's not how pawn shops work. Pawn shop would probably offer you $1 if they did do these things, and then they would turn around and try to sell it for what Walmart sells it for, $20. Yeah, that's why I don't really like pawn shops, because they want to give you nothing and charge everything. I mean, they literally like to give you a quarter for a DVD, and they're picky about them. They get to decide which ones. One, stop being picky. Two, oh wow, that rant. I've already done that rant before, but still, I'm not going to go there. So I don't like anything that you have to collect a whole bunch of. I want something you can actually collect the whole series of. That's basically why I don't like trading card games. I don't like trading card games because I don't like trading cards. I really don't like card games in general. I don't like games I can't play by myself solo in general. And while most people say, well, you can't play board games by yourself, actually, you can. You can play every player in a board game. You can play them solo. Now, there are some board games you cannot actually play solo, which is true. But for the majority, there's a lot of board games that you can play solo. You might have to play both teams, but still, you can play solo. I mean, people have been playing chess, which is a two-player game, solo for years, forever, since the dawn of time. So take that mentality, apply it to board games, and you can play them all solo. Almost all. There are games you cannot play solo. But for most of them, you can. So that's another problem. Trading card games is one of those. Card games, I'm not a big fan of card games in general. It just, to me, a card of the characters and the powers on the characters and using those cards to just do the actions or whatever just does not seem as rewarding as actually having a little miniature on the board and moving them and then performing the action. It just doesn't seem as fulfilling to me. Throwing a card down. This is my character on the card. Bam, I'm going to do this. Bam. Just does not seem as filling and satisfying to me. Instead, sending a man on the board, moving that man up, and on the board with the terrain and everything, and they got man over here, and I got man, and I go, I'm attacking that guy, and I'm using this ability or whatever that my guy has. Just seems more actiony and more feeling. I get to see what's going on the board from. I guess my mind likes to see everything that's going on in the board. So from a more tactical perspective, I like to be able to see everything that's going on, even if my character is not seeing everything that's going on. My character is not seeing everything, but my main person is seeing everything. Which is, again, kind of a reason why I don't really like role-playing games that much. Because I don't like role-playing games that much because the DM is the one who gets to see everything instead of me. I can't play a legitimate role-playing game if I'm not allowed to make the decisions myself. Role-playing games, in my opinion, don't work because I like them to a degree, but to another degree, I don't like them because I would like to be the one controlling everything. And in a role playing game, you're letting someone else control everything that you do. And they get to decide if you can or cannot do that based on the throw of a die or whatever, which makes it total element of chance. And again, the whole world is their world, so you can't do anything about it. There should be, I mean, guess what I'm trying to say is I prefer a role playing game where I could see everything and everything was already seeable, and I could make up my own adventure to the role playing, uh, and the DM would he would just be there to basically play the characters that I created to defeat them. So I mean, we still have the dice rolls to maybe have battles or whatever, but so basically in that case, I could be both the adventurer and the DM in that case because I could also roll the characters' points, so we could have a battle. Basically, that nature. Anyway, you know I don't like trading card games by now, and you probably already haven't watched it all the way. And I've did 30 something minutes, and my phone only lets me do 30 something minutes, about 32 minutes. So I'm just going to end it here going, God is good all the time, all the time. God is good. Keep on gaming, like, comment, subscribe, share. Jesus loves you, Jesus God, Jesus Lord, Jesus King, Jesus ruler, everything. Have a great, wonderful day. And now you don't really, now you kind of know how I feel about trading card games in general. So if you want to know how I feel about other things, I guess comment down below. Later.